Hey guys, I'm here to do my book review on The Devouring by Simon Holt. This book was awesome. I loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And if it was not for Priscilla from the Readables mentioning this book in one of her recent videos and how much she liked it, it would still be sitting on my bookshelf. So thank you, Priscilla, because I picked it up. And normally I don't read, for books in the series, I don't usually read one after another. Because I feel like then it's just one long book and I need to take a break. But this time I am definitely reading The Solstice next because this was so good. This book was only 220-something pages. The font was decent size. And even though it wasn't like a long book, you got so much out of this book. I know that a few short books I've read, it was like I just didn't get anything out of them and I couldn't really do a review because there just really wasn't much to say. But this book was so good. The back of it says, The Vours, evil demonic beings that inhabit human bodies on starry night, the darkest hours of the winter solstice. When dark creeps in and eats the light, bury your fears on starry night, for in the winter's blackest hours comes the feasting of the Vours. No one can see it, the life they stole, your body's here, but not your soul. So good. This book is about, I want to say demons, they're called Vours, that possess your body, but they can only get into your body on the starry night, once a year, and that is December 22nd or December 23rd, somewhere around there. And they possess the bodies of people that have the greatest fears. Now, this book is centered around Reggie and Henry, brother and sister. Henry's younger than his sister, and their brother had left them about a year ago. So Henry is a little bit insecure, and he's got, fears and that. Reggie, on the other hand, loves horror, loves scary things. She's always reading scary books. And for bedtime stories for Henry, she actually reads him scary stories. So I kind of helped add to things that he's afraid of. And then Reggie's got a best friend, Erin, who's into all that stuff too, the horror and sci-fi and just things like that. So what happens is, the one night, night of the starry night, Vour takes hold of Henry's body. And what brought this on, actually what introduced the Vours to Henry, I guess, is that Reggie was at she worked at a used bookstore, and she found a journal. And it was called The Devouring, and she read it home, and she read that to Henry as a night story, a good night story, a bedtime story. And so that's what kind of brought them about into this house. And so they took over, or one of them took over Henry's body, and Reggie didn't realize it until she started seeing the changes in Henry. When you are possessed by a Vour, you don't cry. You don't have fears, and you're just all around, like, I don't want to say cocky, but you're sure of yourself. And she noticed these changes in Henry, and he was kind of mean, too, and just very cold in his attitude. And she's like, what's your problem? What's going on? And a few things happened with her and her best friend, Erin, and Henry, that was just, like, not normal. And that's how they started to be like, wait a minute, and started to put two and two together, because they were still reading this journal, and stuff was like, this sounds like this, and wait a minute. And even though they didn't believe in the journal at first, and they didn't, couldn't believe like something like this would really happen, they went out on a limb and, said, hey, you know what, just in case, So Reggie's mission was to save her brother. They finally figured out that something was going on, so her mission was to save her brother from the Vours. And she got sucked into this other world, which was Henry's fairscape, they called it. So when the Vour takes over your body, your soul gets sent to a fairscape, which is your nightmare, your worst nightmare. You live it until the Vour doesn't possess your body anymore. And that's where Reggie was. She was thrust into Henry's fairscape, and it was just very scary in that. She had to find Henry And she needed to save him. She needed to convince him that he needed to stop being afraid, that they thrived on his fear, that that's how they became strong. And once he got rid of that fear, then he could beat the Devourers. So this is what the book was about. It was a lot of action, a lot was going on in it. Very, very descriptive, and I really loved it because of that. It was scary, the horror of it. Let me see if I can find something in here, kind of to show you like a descriptive of what it said, because it was just, I mean, I could not put this book down. And of course, I'm probably not going to find something now. Oh, let's see. The drill pierced the nurse's left eye and set a fountain of smoke soaring into the room. The clamp over Reggie's eye withdrew, and the vice holding her head sparked and disengaged. Actually, they're talking about, let's see. Reggie gasped as it swayed in front of her face and placed the metal disc over her right eye. With a click, the disc dilated, opening the eye's lids and holding them in place. The surgeon bent over her, holding a long, gleaming drill. I mean, it was just like, wow. I loved it. I love Simon Holt's writing. It wasn't as descriptive and in-depth as Stephen King, which is fine because Stephen King's novels are extremely long because of that. But it was descriptive enough, and even more so, for you to get the idea and see the picture. And I could totally see this being a movie. I mean, that just played in my head. So I definitely give this 5 out of 5. If you want to be scared, definitely pick this book up. Even if you don't want to, pick this book up. The Devouring by Simon Holt. Thanks, guys. Bye.